Good day, board members. Today I'm pleased to present Fred Supermarket's annual risk report for the financial year 2025. This year has been marked by significant developments that tested our resilience and highlighted the importance for, I would say, strong risk management practices. Our overarching theme for this year's AGM is business value, and throughout this report, you will see how risk management directly influences and supports value creation. The agenda, on the agenda today, we're going to cover the definitions of risk that impacted Fred supermarkets, um, our governance structure and challenges, the agency problem, the business context and key events, the different risk categories that we've identified, ERM and our business value, the risk culture and risk appetite that we're currently experiencing at Fred Supermarkets, and then I'll end it off for taking any questions in the Q&A session. So, the definition of risk to Fred Supermarket is that risk refers to any uncertainty that could impact our strategic, our operational, our financial, or reputational objectives. It includes both potential threats and opportunities that could influence our value creation efforts. Why does corporate governance matter to us? At the end of the day, effective governance enhances the transparency and promotes accountability. It improves decision making and increases the investor and stakeholder confidence at Freds. There's responsibilities of the board members. So if we look at board versus management, you know, the effective governance, board members and board of directors responsible for setting Fred's risk appetite, overseeing the risk policies, and ensuring effective governance practices, whereas management is responsible for implementing the risk controls and for ensuring that day-to-day operations align with the board's strategy. Some governance challenges that we may face is that challenges faced include role ambiguity. So if it's unclear, slow responses to reputational crisis, we've obviously experienced that, and gaps in independent oversight mechanisms, which is quite important. There's always a need for stronger oversight. The agency problem, obviously we have the three lines of defense. So you have your Fred's employees. These three lines are our business unit, which is the first line. They manage risk directly and risk management function. Our second line provides oversight and guidance, and internal audit, which is our third line, provides independent assurance, which is obviously important in remaining focused on the regional supermarket chain. Fred's is a customer focused regional supermarket chain dedicated to providing affordable goods while contributing to local community and development, especially in pre-urban and township areas. We've obviously faced retail pressures and the economic climate in South Africa. So the South African retail sector faced heightened economic pressure in 2025, including persistent load shedding, prior years, which increased operational cost, inflation, reducing consumer disposable income, increased competition from the digital first and agile retailers, obviously impacted us. Key events or strategic objectives in terms of annual events for this year. So this year's Fred strategic response included our food poisoning scandal, swift supplier audits and enhanced cold chain management was implemented. Control failures identified by internal audit, so improved segregation of duties and stricter access control was introduced. Pricing errors at Discount Store 14, an AI-supported centralized pricing strategy was developed. Fred's online platform risks, so investments in cybersecurity and last mile delivery partnerships mitigated key risk. Our Namibia store investment, a structured market in entry supported by risk contingencies, and then the Fred Gen project, which is obviously our generator project. It was a phased rollout of modernized inventory And obviously, we implemented CRM and procurement systems um, included with FredGen project. If we look at our overview of our risk distribution, it's pretty even in terms of our strategic risk, which is basically in the Namibian expansion, FredGen projects, our financial risk, which is the pricing errors, the lawsuit settlements of the food scandal, our operational risk, which is control override, stock inaccuracies, delivery failures, and then our hazard risks, which is essentially the food contamination and cybersecurity threats. Each risk was systematically assessed, and mitigation strategies were recommended, and corrective actions were implemented across the business, obviously to mitigate these risks. In conclusion, the link between ERM and adding value to the business, or the link between business value and ERM. At Freds, we enhance shareholder value by embedding risk awareness into our strategy and operations and decision-making processes. It also allows us to proactively address threats and capitalize on emerging opportunities. The attributes of a successful ERM framework. So, following the Mormon Risk Institute principles, Fred's aim is to have clear governance and role accountability, integrated strategic and risk planning, dynamic and timely risk reporting, a pervasive culture of risk ownership, and then our risk culture and appetite in terms of where we're progressing to in 2025. In 2025, we refined our risk appetite framework, introducing quantifiable risk limits and scenario testing. These steps have reinforced proactive risk management and built a more resilient organization culture. I'd just like to thank you for your attention. I also look forward to engaging with your questions and insights during the discussion session. Thank you all.